In this video, I want to discuss a question that was actually submitted by a subscriber on this channel in regards of protecting yourself as a tenant if you are looking to lease a property, whether it be for residential assisted living, behavioral health, sober living, whatever type of model you're trying to start when you go to lease a property. I want to discuss it, so make sure to stick around. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And if you have not yet, make sure to go check out the God Made podcast on most streaming platforms. Also, feel free to go check out Legion Assisted Living Academy on Facebook. That group is free to join. Also, feel free to go check out legionassistedlivingacademy.com, how I teach how to start your own facility from A to Z. So make sure to go check that out. Also, if you are wanting to book a one-on-one mentorship call with me, that will be in the description of this video. Or if you're looking to actually come spend the day with me, that will also be in the link of the description. And if you have not, make sure to go check out valleyalfventures.com. And that is where you can actually go and submit as a limited partner looking to passively invest in this industry, or if you are an operator looking to either potentially sell your facility or potentially grow your operations here in Phoenix, make sure to reach out to us, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Now, I had a very great question that someone actually submitted on YouTube, and I am actually going to answer it because I thought it was just a great question, and I think a lot of people will probably benefit from it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it off my phone here. But this individual had said, "Hi, if you rent your facility, how to secure your business from unexpected emergencies, like if the owner of the property dies or decides to sell." So the scenario that she actually gives is a very real life scenario, right? What could happen if the current landlord ends up passing, right? What happens to you as a tenant? Well, oftentimes what happens is that gets actually put on whoever the beneficiary of that estate is going to be. Typically, if they have a surviving spouse, that spouse will typically take that over. And if there's already a tenant in place, they typically don't want to have to disrupt that and have to go through a vacancy or do anything. So typically what happens in that scenario, if there isn't a living spouse and let's say it goes on to the landlord's children and they just want nothing to do with managing any properties or keeping the property or having any type of property, what they typically want to do is sell it, right? So oftentimes, which kind of leads into this second scenario, if either the landlord or the descendants of the landlord, if they end up passing, want to sell it, what you can have in the lease agreement when you're negotiating this with the landlord is having the right of refusal. This is an absolutely crucial part when it comes to the lease agreement. So what happens in this scenario, what you can also do when you have the right of refusal is that the landlord, if they decide to sell it or actually offer it to sell it to somebody, they have to come to you first and allow you to put an offer first, right? They have to give you the right to actually try to buy it before they can go and sell it, regardless of the offer. If they say, no, we don't want that offer, they have really no option but to try to sell it to you, whether continuing to hold on or wait until the lease agreement is actually finished. So in that scenario, it does protect you to be able to continue to operate your business. And a lot of people forget and overlook this actual aspect of a lease agreement simply because they're not thinking about it. They don't have the right attorney, or they're just inexperienced and don't actually think about it. Now, another thing you can actually do is an option to purchase. Now, this might require some additional money out of pocket for you. So keep that in mind when you go to actually negotiate this with the option to purchase. But the option to purchase, the nice thing about it is that you actually get to have a predetermined purchase price as of like, let's say today you sign a lease agreement, you get to come to a predetermined purchase price with the landlord, and that doesn't increase once you try to go and buy it later on. Now, there's pros and cons to doing that, which I can definitely talk about, but one of the things with the option to purchase at a later date is that it secures the property at a predetermined purchase price for you as the tenant, and you get to actually work towards trying to go and purchase that property. So that is something to keep in mind also when you go to do a lease agreement. Most landlords, if they're not sophisticated, they may not know what an option to purchase is, and they may not know what that all consists of. So it might take a little bit of education in that aspect, but this also guarantees in a way that they're not going to try to sell the property from under you just because you already have that option to purchase. So doing a right of refusal or an option to purchase is two great ways to actually secure that property for you to be able to continue to operate regardless if, let's say, the landlord passes or it gets passed on to their descendants or their family members who want nothing to do with that property. You get to really come in and either solve that solution or solve that problem for them and bring them a solution by saying, hey, look, we have this agreement. It's all in writing. It's been notarized. It's been officialized, etc. Here's what I'm willing to offer you guys for the property. And in most cases, what happens if it does get passed on to family members who no longer want the property, you get to actually probably renegotiate that price that was ultimately predetermined, right? And they just may be willing to let it go simply to just get rid of it. So I have yet to have to deal with that or have heard of anyone that's dealt with that, but it is something that can happen and it's not unheard of, right? It does happen oftentimes. So just keep that in mind when you guys go to actually lease any of these properties. Protect yourself, have an attorney in place that can actually help assist in this process and be able to review these lease agreements. Don't go signing off on lease agreements without having any representation, because there could be things that gets missed that you're not even thinking about. Maybe you end up having more responsibilities on a property that you should, but there's a lot that I can go into when it comes to actually leasing a property and what to do when you actually look to lease a property. So just keep all of this in mind, right? And at the end of the day, it's all about making sure that you have the right people around you who can represent you and have your best interest in mind. And even having a consultant or someone or a mentor to be able to talk over it and have a second set of eyes look over it, right? Whether that's booking a one-on-one mentorship call with me, or, you know, even hiring an attorney or having an attorney just overlook your lease for, let's say, $200-300, right? That is so well worth it because they'll point out all the holes in that lease agreement and you can go back and renegotiate it. And if they choose not to renegotiate it, it's probably better off to go and find a different deal or work with a different landlord. So all that being said, make sure you try to get the right of refusal or the option to purchase. And so with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, that it provided you guys value. And if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out all the links in the description of this video. And with all that, I will talk to you in the next one. God bless.